What's up, Mafia? Something happened at linebacker this spring that nobody saw coming, and a former first-round pick on the defense just got passed by his own teammate before camp even started. 7 things to watch before the pads even come on. One of them ends with a trade, and one of them ends with a former first-round pick being put on notice. A lot is happening, so let's get it mixing. Let's start with the position that no one's losing sleep over. At tight end, Dallas Goedert and rookie Eli Stowers are a lock in the top 2 spots. The real competition is that third tight end job. Grant Calcaterra is back for another summer, and he's a more proven pass catcher between the two. Johnny Munz came over from Jacksonville to be the blocking tight end this offense wants. It's a shame we just can't combine the two and make one tight end, because at the end of the day, that's all we would need, but that's just wishful thinking. But when camp does come around, all I'll say is watch the snap count. Whoever blocks better during live sessions will probably end up winning this job. Now, onto the O-line. Up front, the starting 5 players are safe. So are a couple depth pieces. But there's one open seat left behind them. Miles Hinton and Cameron Williams are both developing tackles from a recent draft class. And Holland Pierce is in the mix too, even though he's primarily a guard. It's not likely that all 3 of these guys make the 53-man roster. Watch who gets first team reps when a starter sits out. That will decide who gets that role. It's a boring position group, but it's not a boring competition. Next, we go to the wide receiver room. The top of the wide receiver room isn't in question. Devontae Smith, rookie Mekhi Lemon, Dontavian Wicks, and Hollywood Brown are all locked in at that role. What's not locked in is who rounds out the room behind the starters. Darius Cooper, Johnny Wilson, and Britton Covey have all been getting run on special teams. Elijah Moore is the veteran in the mix with actual NFL production. But the younger guys have the edge right now because of what they bring on special teams and the fact that they have continuity with this Eagles offense. In my opinion, this one doesn't get decided in camp. This one gets decided in preseason game 3. Who's ever out there making plays will most likely make this roster. Now we're going to move over to the cornerbacks, and here's where this conversation gets real. The top of the cornerback room is already set. Quinyon Mitchell, Tariq Woolen on the outside, and Cooper DeJean handling the slot. Behind them, veteran Jonathan Jones came in this offseason to provide real depth, a guy with over a decade in this league and 2 Super Bowl rings. Kelee Ringo is the name to watch behind him. Kelee Ringo has looked like a change of scenery candidate for a long time now, and right now his clearest path to making this roster runs through special teams, not the cornerback room. Watch camp reps closely. If Kelee Ringo can't separate himself from the pack, this stops being about depth and becomes a roster spot conversation. Before we continue, let me know what you think. Out of these 4 position groups, which one worries you the most heading into camp? Drop it in the comment section and let me know. I'm reading every single comment. Now, on to the safety group. In base defense, this one is simple. Andrew Bakuba and Cooper DeJean. But this is not how this defense plays majority of the time. When Cooper DeJean slides into the slot, someone has to take that nickel position. Vic Fangio himself said that this was an open competition, and named the group competing for that spot. Marcus Epps, Michael Carter II, Andre Sam, JT Gray, even though we all know that JT Gray is here for special teams. Rookie Cole Wisniewski and undrafted rookie Kapena Gushkin. 6 names, 1 job that shows up on the field in specific packages. That tells you exactly how unsettled this group is behind the starters. Now, in my opinion, this is the biggest battle heading into training camp. Nakobe Dean is gone. He signed with the Raiders during free agency. That left 1 starting linebacker spot next to Zach Bond, and on paper, it belongs to Jihaad Campbell. But hold on 1 second, and don't skip this part. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. didn't treat this like a formality. He picked off Jalen Hurts in the first OTA practice open to the media, and then kept making plays all spring. Beat writers were talking about Jeremiah Trotter Jr. on the daily. He shows real potential and real instincts at that linebacker position. But here's the real wrinkle heading into training camp. Jihaad Campbell barely practiced this spring. He's coming off his 2nd shoulder procedure in 2 years, and he's doing his rehab on the side while Jeremiah Trotter Jr. took first team reps. Despite Jihaad Campbell's draft pedigree, this is a real battle. Campbell's raw physical talent versus Jeremiah Trotter Jr.'s technique and football IQ. Jihaad Campbell is still a favorite to land the role. He's a former first-round pick, and when he's healthy, he's lived up to that hype. But watch camp closely because this isn't the guaranteed job it looked like at the beginning of March. Now, back to where we started. The Eagles already answered half of this question. They traded for Jonathan Greenard this offseason and signed him to a 4-year deal. He walks into camp as a starter on one side. That leaves Nolan Smith and Jalen Hunt fighting for the role on the opposite side of the field. Last season, Jalen Hunt outplayed Nolan Smith outright. Nolan Smith, the former first-round pick, didn't come close to matching Jalen Hunt's production. And this is where this conversation begins to shift. Both Nolan Smith and Jalen Hunt are under contract through 2027. That matters, because this isn't just about who starts next to Greenard in week 1. This is about which one the Eagles extend and which one becomes a trade candidate before the decision even needs to be made. If you ask my opinion, at this point, I'm leaning more towards Jalen Hunt. The instincts, the athleticism makes him hard to ignore, but honestly, this is still an open competition. So when people ask who's starting opposite of Greenard in 2026, the honest answer is nobody knows yet. And for a former first-round pick heading into a contract year, that's not the answer that you want to hear. So, 7 things to watch. 2 of them are about jobs, and 5 of them are about their future with the Philadelphia Eagles. The tight end and offensive line competition decide who makes the 53-man roster. The receiver room decides who survives life after the A.J. Brown trade. But the linebacker and edge rusher position, those competitions are different. Those 2 are about which players this organization is still building around 2 years from now. So, where are we right now with the Philadelphia Eagles? This is what a Super Bowl roster looks like up close. It's not finished, and it's not settled. It's a front office who have to make hard calls on good players because they know that they can't keep all of them. Nolan Smith was supposed to be a building block for the future, and right now, he's a question mark next to a brand new starter on that defense. Jihaad Campbell was supposed to be the future at linebacker. Right now, he has to share that future with a 5th-round pick who refuses to come off the field. And that's not a problem. That's what a deep team looks like in late June before the pads even come on. Training camp is going to answer all these questions, and they're going to answer these questions very fast. And we'll be tracking every single one of them as they develop. If you made it this far, subscribe to the Midnight Green Mafia if you haven't already. Drop a like and drop a hype. It helps the channel more than you know. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our new videos. And follow us on all the socials. The links are in the description. And once again, I've been Brother Shy, and this has been the Midnight Green Mafia.